Assassin's Creed Shadows. And how good is it after about 20 or so hours of gameplay? I'm here to show you. That's how much that I have spent in the game so far. And I have to say, in the beginning, it was rough. It was a slow roll, honestly. I was a bit confused. There was so many things that the game kind of throws at you in the beginning, along with the story. So I found it a bit much to digest, but also could have been a bit my fault playing it for like 10 hours at a time each time I've sat down playing it now. I say the thing that I love the most, obviously, is the game's gorgeous. I mean, like, come on, right? And there is a lot of things that have surprised me. Heck, let's start with something really small and simple. When you walk in buildings, your character's shoes automatically go off. Isn't that so cool? I was like, whoa. Because in a cutscene or whatever, it was like, where did her shoes go? I didn't see her take her shoes off. And like, obviously they don't do that. But like, yeah, the shoes go on and off. Anyways, yeah. So, as somebody who loves Assassin's Creed, I grew up playing the Assassin's Creed games as they were coming out, and I love the whole stealthy assassination, taking out like a huge group of people, but kind of one by one, and if you do get caught, putting up a fight as an option or running away is cool too, you know, like, so traditional Assassin's Creed stuff, can you do that in this game? Absolutely. I've done a lot of it, and I have to say that has made me really, really happy. I don't feel like I'm playing a game that's cosplaying as Assassin's Creed, as I felt in some of the games right before this one. I have to say, like, Mirage, I really enjoyed. Origins, I really enjoyed. I quit after about 20 hours in Odyssey. Even though Odyssey was gorgeous and it was a girl character and everything like that, I couldn't do it. I didn't feel like I was playing Assassin's Creed. And then I just never picked up Valhalla because I was like, what's the point? You know, like, why bother? So I waited for this after I played Mirage. And Mirage was really short and sweet. That's how I felt about that one. It was pretty good, but it was just short and sweet. So I was hoping for a much longer Assassin's Creed. I have to say, this is clearly much longer. It's filled with a lot of chores. Are the chores pleasant to do? Yeah. You know, it just was really overwhelming at first. When I started the game, I was just like, whoa, how does this scout system work? How do I level up? Where's Yasuke? Because you don't get to be able to play him until pretty much after the first act or something like that. It was a bit, I thought I was ignoring, you know, I like, not trying to like be too spoily or whatever like that, I don't know, but I thought I was ignoring playing him, and then at just like some point it was like, oh, like now you can play him, and I was like, oh, I thought I was just choosing to play Naoe like on her own. That wasn't the case. It was like, yeah, then his story opens up, and then he's like somebody that you can change character to. It was a little confusing to me. I don't know. I didn't try to spoil myself too much when the game was coming out, you know, details about how it works and everything like that. I wanted to try and go in as blind as possible, with only my expectation being I just want a newer Assassin's Creed game. Because I love Ezio and Altair and those older Assassin's Creed games, but the newer ones have not really hit the mark with me, no matter how gorgeous and awesome they were. It felt like it was just like an open world game with a slight callback, you know, to Assassin's Creed. But this feels like it's another Assassin's Creed game, and that's really cool. Does it have a lot of those systems that those other newer games have, where, you know, I'm like leveling up and I have the inventory and blah 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 blah? Like, I don't, it's not the worst. It, you know, it, like, I don't particularly like it that much. It's okay. It's just like a lot, because sometimes I find myself spending more times in the menus and looking around my world map trying to figure out like where to go and what to do. You don't have to do that. I'm just like trying to be focused, because if I don't focus on my objectives and like giving myself like a pointer, I will totally lose myself in the game. Like, I won't get the story done. You know what I mean? It's a gorgeous game, and it is so easy to just meander around. You can totally just not focus at all and let things naturally happen. Example being, I was like, I'm just gonna go start getting viewpoints. And so one of these viewpoints that I got over here, it was actually one of my objectives, a target of mine, but he was like level 23 and I was still only level 19. It was really, really hard to kill him. Like, I shouldn't have quite been over there in that area yet. And I decided to go up really high and then attempt assassinate him. It didn't exactly work, but I was able to kill him. And even though the other guards around him had skulls on them, so like it was like I could do a little bit of damage to them, but they were really messing me up. I just killed him. I got the objective done, and then I ran away. And like that was pretty cool. Like, I cheesed it a bit. And I'm playing on normal difficulty. I believe there's like the story difficulty, like the easiest mode. Then there's forgiving, I think was the other mode. And then there's normal. And then there's hard and super hard or something like that. I don't know. There might be 1 or 2 more levels harder than normal. But yeah. So I found that cool. Like, if you just meander around and go randomly find things, your objectives will just kind of make themselves known as you approach them, and you use the left trigger. I'm using a controller. I'm on keyboard, but I'm using a controller. And you use the left trigger to like look around your surroundings, and it'll highlight things for you. So that's really cool. I didn't want to like leave my hideout because I'm not trying to be like too spoilerly about this review, so I'm not gonna leave and go anywhere like that. Yeah, so just a little bit of customization, you know, is really cool with the hideout. I got a monkey that's pretty cool, and a goat. Yep, I put those here. And you know, it's really nice, a bit of Sims vibe when you do the hideout stuff. So it's like nothing crazy. And yeah, I've been enjoying like just throwing stuff down and not like focusing too hard on it, but it's like there when you want it to be. And it's like a decent area size. But it's nothing too, this isn't too extra. It could be absolutely like way, I think a lot of people probably got the wrong idea that it was like something way more than what it seems to be. It's not. It's just, it reminds me of like kind of managing the estate in what was it, Revelations? Something like that. Yeah. I think Assassin's Creed has always had something to do with like having management systems when you are a master assassin, head of, you know, multiple other things going on. It's hard to say, and as a story perspective, one person would be just going around killing people, really making a difference. So it like makes sense in a story sort of perspective that you also you have the scout system, so you have scouts, quote unquote, and they help you like go and find things, so you don't exactly just need to go to areas and look around like a chicken with your head cut off. It was a bit hard for me to understand that system at first, and how the season changing refreshes the scouts, but you can also find random people out in the wild and help them, and then they can become a scout. Or you can also pay to get more scouts here, like in the hideout. So that was good, because I didn't really, as those things were being told to me as the game was starting, I was just trying to focus on the story and a lot of like gameplay mechanics. There's a lot of quality of life and good things that work in your favor and stuff, but you have to like know how to utilize them and where to like go in the menu or something like that, or just like where to go in the game, right? Like, for example, in order to upgrade your gear, you have to go to your forge. And then I had to upgrade the forge, too, in order to, like, keep upgrading. So now I'm able to upgrade my armor and stuff even further. And that way I don't have to keep equipping different armors. I can just, like, keep the armor that I'm wearing. And keep upgrading that. So, yeah, that's really cool. You know, it's not too complicated. It's pretty simple. And I feel like some of the other games with some of their inventory and menus and stuff like that, it was like a bit much. It was too much. I like didn't want to get involved in it at all because it's a single player game and I'm really just here for the story and the vibes and the environment, and the game really serves on that. So, like I said, it was tough to get into it and to get comfy. But once you get comfy, once the story starts revving up, it is like starting your car on a cold morning, but then it feels really great once it's warm. That is how the story's been warming up to me so far. And that is all that I will say on that. So, yeah. I think there's probably a lot of people who either, A, have never played an Assassin's Creed game before, and this isn't exactly their kind of game, and because there might have been, like, a lot, and as pretty as the game was, maybe it was just too much for them to want to get into, and nothing really roped them in after the first few hours, so they probably won't get to the point in the game where it starts making you feel like you want to play more and really understand how things are working and just progress in an easy way without being too confused. I felt like I had to get over that sort of feeling, and then as someone who loves Assassin's Creed, once I was out of cutscene hell, I'm sorry, there was just so many. The first 2 hours of the game was just like pure cutscenes. Once I was out of cutscene hell, and I could start playing the game, freely roaming around, getting my viewpoints, assassinating people from high rooftops and stuff like that, doing my leaps of faith. It felt very Assassin's Creed-y, and I felt very at home. And I'm excited to play more and continue with this sort of new spin with an old vibe. And I will let y'all know how it feels once I finish it. Yeah, I've been streaming a lot of this game on my Twitch channel, so feel free to come by and say hello, check it out. I'm looking forward to Atomfall. Here's coming out in a few days, but that game is only 15 hours or so long, so I might play that game for like 2 or 3 days, and then I feel like I'm going to be right back here grinding this out because there's a lot to do in this game, and, well, I'm really enjoying it. I'm just, Feudal Japan's. It's a nice vibe, right? You know, who can complain? So, yeah. If you don't want to do the chores to enjoy the good parts, you can come by and watch me do it for you.